Benigembla, located in the Pape Valley within the district of Marina Alta in eastern Spain. The town is 314 meters above sea level. It is only 50 kilometers away from Benidorm, 88 kilometers from Alicante, 105 kilometers from Valencia, and 23 kilometers from Dénia.Just 7.5 kilometers from the town, in the direction of level.It in an ancient Morisco site, Pla de Petracos. There are paintings over 8,000 years old, and UNESCO has designated it a protected world site of cultural interest. The town of Benigembla is also of Moorish origin, like most towns in the Pape Valley. In 1609, more than 14,000 Moors of the Pape Valley that resisted the decree of expulsion, and they gathered in the mountain of Elkus or El Pape. At the end, the Moors gave up because they were running out of food, water, and basic supplies. After giving up, most of the Moors were expelled after suffering high casualties. After the decree of expulsion of the Moors from the year 1609, the village was repopulated mostly of Mallorcan and Western Catalan people. The village still retains many traditions and customs of these settlers, and also the language spoken by the villagers. At the summit of Elkus, also known as La Montaña del Pape, there are still some remains of an ancient castle called Elkus Del De Pape. Elkus Del De Pape was owned by Al-Azraq, then by Pere d'Altafulla. Since 1329 was owned by Vidal de Villanova and his successors. During the final period it was handed to Jaume el Conqueridor by the Jovada Pact by Al-Azraq. Later, Peter the Great ordered its destruction, and today there are very few traces left. Elkus Del De Pape gives its name to this enchanted valley in the Marina Alta. Demography. In 1615 the town had a population of only 99 inhabitants, and it reached its peak in 1860 with almost 900 inhabitants. For the 1900s to 1960 the town lost 34% of its population, since most of the locals migrated to the US, France, Germany, and Algeria. Today the village has approximately 606 inhabitants, according to the latest municipal census of the year 2011. About 45% of the population is foreign, mostly British. These newcomers, which started to settle in the 1980s and in the year 2009, they already represented 36% of the population. But there are also Germans and North Americans in town. The district of Vernissa Park is largely English-speaking, since most of the people that settled in the urbanization are British. It is a very flat town surrounded by mountains, which one can find very enjoyable and relaxing. The main language spoken by its local inhabitants is the Catalan language, also known locally as Valencian, which the majority of the population speak and use as the main language. After the decree of the expelling of the Moors in 1609, the town was populated mostly by inhabitants from Catalonia and the Balearic Islands. Most of the traditions of these settlers are still carried out today, together with the Catalan language that they brought with them. In the table below we can see the different changes in Benigembla's population from the year 1857 to 2007. According to the National Institute of Statistics, the population has been increasing since 1998, since more of the newcomers started to register in the municipal town's census. Today the population of Benigembla is the most diverse population that has been since the existence of the town. Major festivities and traditions. There are two major festivities during the year. In the third week of January, the town celebrates its winter festivities in honor of Sant Honorat and Sant Antony with its fair, and a blessing of house pets and other animals, and other activities. During the summer in August, the town celebrates its major festivity from the 12th of August to the 17th of August. During the summer festivity there are concerts, theatre, fire runs, dancing, Valencian handball, running with the bulls, and religious celebrations. In autumn, there is usually a craft fair on the last weekend of October. Environment. Nestled in the Valley of Pop, on the river Gorgos at the foot of the mountains of El Cavalverde. Its relief is very wary and holds places worth visiting throughout the municipal area of 18.4 square kilometers. As the climb of El Cocal, or to El Cavalverde, a mountain that looks like the face of a woman, the recreational area of the Safari, and the camping area of level.It, just 750 meters from the town. The town is known from around the area for its many trails and spectacular mountain views. The highest mountain peak of Benigembla is represented by El Morro de Encerra with 1,001 meters. One of the walking trails of interest in town is the route of El Mirabo. Other known mountains of Benigembla are El Cavalverde, or El Pop, La Peña del Alta, La Solana, and also El Mirabo. An interesting hiking trail is the climb to the top of Cocal, and it is a marked trail that starts in the Camí del Corral, which is about 350 meters from the town of Benigembla towards the road to Castell de Castells. We pass by over the well of El Aljub del Frere and by the cliff Barrancs dels Bu. A zigzag draw us closer to El Corral de Malia, and then to a more open space called La Corona. Then we arrived at the Pla de Petracos, where there are planes and helicopters of the Forest Services. We followed then a forest track that leads to the top of Cocal, which is very close. The views, when the weather permits it, are magnificent and we can see clearly. El Cavalverde, Carrascal Debo Alfaro, the Pla de Petracos, Sorello Exoartia Itana, Carrascal de Parsant. There is a rare colony of the plant Caralluma mumbiana in the mountain of the Cavalverde, a type of cactus with bright pink flowers that is indigenous to southeastern Spain, that is at risk of extinction. There are only 3 other known colonies of the plant in the Valencian country, and it is currently under the protection of the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. The river Gorgos passes next to Benigembla, which borders the town from its west side to its east side, and it was designated as a site of special community interest by the European Commission in 2005. The river Gorgos is 55 kilometers long, and it ends finally in the sea in Xàbia. Economy and tourism. Farming and livestock were the pillars of the economy until the 1970s, but today most of the people work in the services sector, and farming is considered a complementary activity that is done basically on weekends and holidays. Still, the farmers of Benigembla make wine, olive oil, and they produce almonds, figs, olives, and grapes among others. The town also has 2 restaurants, 2 rural houses, a recreational area in the Safari, and a camping area. The camping area is located just 1 kilometer from Benigembla on the road that leads to Castell de Castells. There is a swimming pool, a tennis court, and other facilities. Another site of interest of Benigembla is the Ribose Botanical Garden next to the main square, with trees that are more than 100 years old, and other species of special botanical interest, but it is in serious need of maintenance and renovation. Some of the exteriors of the film Her Majesty the Minor were filmed in the fields of Benigembla in October 2006, a super-European production of the French director Jean-Jacques Annaud, who also directed the films 7 Years in Tibet and The Name of the Rose. Architectural heritage. The parish church of St. Josep of neoclassical style. 18th century building with a Baroque bell tower. El Safari, and its recreational area with a barbecue site. It used to be the public town laundromat. The building, El Sindicat, with neoclassic elements of the French Baroque and Rococo style. The bridges on the road to Parsenton-Merla, built by stonemasons. El Ribose, the walls bordering part of the western part of the town and protecting it from flood waters of the river Zalogorgos, were also built by stonemasons. The parish church of Sant Josep was restored and decorated in 1994, and the great bell named Maria was repaired in the same year. Another bell is the bell known as the bell from Vernissa, which is the small one named Santa Barbara, and finally the middle one, which is named Maria Barbara. El Sindicat, located at the corner of El Carrer Larg and El Carrer San Francesc Xavier, which was always the social club of the town, and it is a building from the early 20th century. Specifically, it was built in 1925 by the local architect Adeli Moll. The club belonged to members of the cooperative St. Francis Xavier, but the town council purchased the site in 2005 with the objective of rehabilitating its interior and restoring its facade. This building is of neoclassical style with elements of the Rococo and French Baroque, which it may be due to the influence of returning Benigemblas from the emigration from Algeria. In February 2010, the town council started the rehabilitation of the building with a budget of around €500,000. The new Sindicat now has 3 floors, so this new building has more capacity and can better address the social and cultural needs of the whole town. The building is suitable for carrying on the one hand exhibitions, conferences, seminars or classes for seniors, among other activities, and moreover, within the premises also can be conducted recreational dancing of physical fitness, etc. Also noteworthy are the walls of the Ribose, which protects the western side of town from the flood waters, built by stonemasons at least 80 years ago. The town owes Mr. Baldomero Vega de Son, the deputy that was able to come up with the money and project for the construction of these retaining walls. Mr. Baldomero Vega de Son was a deputy in the Provincial Council of Alicante of the Liberal Party of Canalejas. Currently the main square of the town bears his name. Politics. In the municipal elections of May 2011, the nationalist Valencian party Bloc Nacionalist Valencia Compromís won 3 seats in the town council with 36% of the votes. The socialist Valencian party PSPV-PSOE won 2 seats with 33% of the votes, and the conservative party PPCV 2 seats with 29% of the votes. The candidate for the Bloc party Joan Casals Armangual is elected mayor with the support of the other 2 council men of his own party. In the municipal elections of 2007, the People's Party PPCV won 3 seats in the town council with 38% of the votes. The Valencian Socialist Workers' Party 2 seats with 27% of the votes, and the nationalist Valencian party denominated Bloc Nacionalist Valencia Compromís 1 seat with 20% of the votes, and another local party also obtained 1 seat with 14% of the votes. In 2007, Fernando Mangual Light-Havana of the PPCV was elected mayor with 3 votes out of the 7 councilmen. However, his inability to work with other councilmen, the lack of democratic transparency in the decision-making process, together with the lack of support of his own party, and after 3 major defeats to his controversial plans to build 3 more urbanizations, which started to provoke distrust and discontent. As a result, on the 23rd of August 2008, a vote of no confidence was presented by the 3 opposition parties, which resulted in voting and proclaiming the councilman of the Bloc party, Joan Casals Armangual, as mayor of Benigembla. with the support of the 2 socialist seats and the other seat from the other local party. In the municipal elections of 2003, the PP obtained 4 seats, and the PSPV-PSOE 3 seats, but they were all pressured to resign from the seats, except one councillor, after the town council has signed in November 2004 a secret controversial plan with a known major developer to build a massive urbanization with 1,500 new houses and a golf course. The contract that was signed secretly would have been unsustainable for the municipal services of this town, and would have given the developer all the decision-making regarding the future urban development of the town. In 2005, the Major Aurelio Linares Imas of the PP party resigned, and Felipe Perez I Mengual took over as mayor until 2007. The plan to build 1,500 houses and a golf course finally was revoked on a town council meeting on the 21st of May 2010 by the nationalist mayor of the Bloc Party Joan Casals, and the developer El Grup Ballester. The first mayor that was elected after the Franco's regime was the socialist Antoni Casals I Perez, then the independent Francesc Mas I Cendra for 2 terms, the socialist Francesc Taverna I Taverna for 2 terms, and the socialist Rogelio Cendra I Taverna for 1 term, the conservative Aurelio Linares Imas for 1 term, Fernando Mengual I Taverna for 1 term. However, a vote of no confidence in the beginning of his second year gave the mayoralty to the Bloc Party, represented by Joan Casals I Mengual. In that order, in the elections of 2011, the Bloc Party's candidate Joan Casals I Mengual took over the mayoralty for the next 4 years.